Hello there everybody, so Night and welcome back to Tokyo Babel, where in the last episode, an individual who I believe might be Metatron, or rather Enoch, kidnapped Sormy, and we learned who she really is. Basically, Future Eve! And I ended it right at the point where we're going to probably just battle an individual that I think Leviathan called Messenger. Well, let's jump right in. Giving up on inquiring as to her objective, I readied the sword of the 7 deadly sins for battle. She was likely related to the mysterious man. She was an enemy. I summoned a giant bull with the swing of my sword. Meanwhile, Messenger's right hand took on a blindingly white glow. She swung it towards the mouth of the charging beast. The next moment, the boar exploded in a gruesome spectacle of gore. The pieces of the beast turned to dust, descending around the girl who had yet to take a step. Remiel? Huh. I knew her name. An angel who sent visions and dreams to humans to convey the word of God. And also... That's right, she's the starter. Well, I hate to break it to you, but God's kind of lost its mind. She declared her duty in the past sense. Probably Sormy. A faint smile ran along the lips of Messenger as she caught the irritation in my voice. Unable to contain my anger, I charged at her, but as soon as her right hand took on a blindingly white glow again, I found myself blasted to the very edge of Leviathan's back. I slowly stood up. It either didn't hit me, or it had been a feint, or she held back on purpose. Either way, I didn't suffer significant damage and could promptly resume the fight. Though at the moment I was much more interested in hearing what she had to say. Smashing and chopping could always wait. Messenger smiled at my question. Whoa. Is that a sword with a candle? You know, for a second I thought that was a sword with a candlestick. But that's a blade with 5 prongs. Yeah, 5 prongs. Messenger raised her right arm, and with the blast of thunder, a weapon appeared in her hand. If that thing could have been called a weapon, that is. Well, it's obviously not for slashing, it's meant for piercing. About 1 meter in length, it looked like a rapier with multiple tips, though it didn't feel right to try and classify that thing as a sword. She took a step forward to put me in the effective range of her sword. It seemed like she was a close quarters combatant. I readied my own Picati sword to defend myself. There was no way she could actually swing that strange needle sword effectively. I only had to watch out for thrusts. I barely had time to blink an eye before a thrust flew my way like a lightning bolt. I lunged sideways to evade it, swinging my sword at her neck. Her arm wriggled like a snake and, defying the physics of human joints, bent backwards, the needle sword parrying my swing. But how did she possibly expect to stop my sword with an edgeless weapon? I needed added more power to my push to break out of the sword lock. But then it hit me. Her weapon was neither rapier, nor estoc, or a stiletto. I had my sword locked with a lightning rod. A shiver ran down my spine, but before my body could react, she launched it. Human bodies had but two choices when pain rose above a certain threshold: lose consciousness or die from shock. Unfortunately, I, the relic of the past as messenger had already kindly noted, was not designed to give in to pain, no matter its intensity. The most rigid of frames supporting my bones, countless nanomachines pumping adrenaline in my blood, magical defenses I had newly learned protecting my vitals, as 7 beasts I summoned to act as my shield. I threw everything I had at protecting myself, and still... It hurt. I felt as if every single nerve in my body had been torn out and punctured with needles. I threw up yesterday's dinner and collapsed in the fetal position. I could do nothing but lie there in convulsive pain. Meanwhile, she calmly regarded my shameful display. Stand up, hurry! She gently, though in my present state it still hurt like hell, placed her foot on my head and pressed it into the ground. She then kicked my temple. I was completely helpless. Already at the edge of Leviathan's back, I proceeded to slide down towards the water after her kick. If I was the same as a few days ago, I would have probably perished here, given up and embraced the end. I clung to the Beryl scales. The present me was different. I might have discovered a legitimate race on Dare, but I still found something that compelled me to keep on living. Pouring all my remaining strength into the action, I had inched slightly forward. There was no way on earth I was leaving her alone. I turned my juvenile stubbornness into fuel for my battle engine, to drive for my survival instinct. I couldn't lose, not in a place like this. Gritting my teeth, I crawled through the scales, leaving a trail of tears and vomit behind. Witnessing my comeback, Messenger cocked her head to the side. It hurt like hell. I'd killed to get this agonizing pain away, but now wasn't the time to mull over the superficial. Pain was something that can be endured. I refused to acknowledge my end. In return, Messenger closed her eyes and lowered her weapon. I thought I saw a faint smile run across her lips. Sheathing her weapon, she turned her back to me. A perfect chance to attack, but I couldn't bring myself to move. Huh? Ah, the return of the Sefer Raziel. Why are you telling me this? I don't know, I've kind of witnessed some of the horrors of Raziel's route, so... Messenger, as abruptly as she'd appeared, leapt to Leviathan's head and then towards Tokyo Babel, disappearing within the confines of its walls. Only I remained on Leviathan's back, standing at a complete loss for words. Leviathan's voice pulled me back to reality. Why didn't she just kill me? What would have happened if I gave up? Did she actually expect me to resist her, or did she not care either way? Well, idle thinking wouldn't lead me to the answer. What mattered is that I survived. I'd certainly be dead now if not for her mercy. I wished I was stronger. No, I had to become stronger. Strong enough to triumph over impossible odds and shape the world in impossible selfish ways. Such was my role in this reality.
到着したぞい。
なあ、リヴァイアさん。この世界で強くなるには、生きるための意味を見つけるべきなんだよな。
まあ、そうだな。
だとしたら。
I felt I was only a step away. I already formed a verse. Now all I had left was to engrave it into my soul and sing it to the world. I jumped towards Tokyo Babel from Leviathan's head. Landing on one of the outer platforms, I proceeded to the coordinates of the plate we had removed during the double date.
外す方法は内側と同じだからな。
Nodding to Leviathan's instructions, I removed the plate, climbed through the newly opened fissure, and attached the plate back to its original position. But before the space could completely close, my eyes met the sea serpents. I gave them a small bow.
助かった。感謝する。
まあ、退屈はせんで済んだわい。したらな。
With that, Leviathan plunged headfirst to the depths of the ocean. Was he planning to spend an eternity wandering these seas all alone? Well, teach his own. Now I had to think about returning to Pandora as soon as possible. I hurried to Ginza, and through its clock tower entered Pandora. My first destination was the night duty room we usually spent most of our time at. The best course of action right now was to confirm the current situation with Lilith and Raziel. I entered the corridor, but I could barely take a step before its outlandish appearance hit me like a hammer. What the shit happened here? The devastated walls of the place looked like they'd been hit by a cannonball. I peeked into a nearby classroom just in case, but not a ghost was inside. I checked another one to find it as empty and wrecked as the one before. If there was one thing I could be sure of, it was that a battle raged here. That voice. Belial? Wait, is that Lucifuge? The voice that answered probably belonged to Astaroth's butler, Lucifuge. To take a better look at what was going on, I jumped outside through a hole in the corridor's wall. I was met by a surreal sight indeed. Belial flew through the air and tumbled down the dusty road. Cameo leapt forward and stabbed at his prone frame. That vanished the very next moment. Cameo turned around to meet with Belial's fist. Now it was the angel's turn to eat dirt. So wait a minute, Cameo and Lucifuge are working to get... What?! Lucifuge seemed to have his hands full fending off Cameo's angels. Meanwhile, his own subordinates, or more precisely, Astaroth's demons, pursued Belial. Belial jumped at Lucifuge, but Cameo got in his way, who then in turn received a hefty kick from Lucifuge from behind. Huh? The scene was that of complete chaos. Did you forget who I was? Lilith, Belial, Cameo, and even Lucifuge turned to me. However, there was neither animosity nor malice, neither goodwill nor relief in their eyes. All of them gave me an identical look, one of careful consideration that you'd give a complete stranger. Stopping to think for a second, she proceeded to shake her head. In other words, no, she had no idea who I was. Damn, so their memories were completely erased. But what the hell? I turned around and darted back inside the school. No one followed me. Instead, the sounds of battle resumed. I didn't panic. I more or less understood what had happened here. The mysterious man pulled one of his memory tricks again. He had very nearly killed me, but even I have almost forgotten him again already. The scene where he strangled me had already half faded from my memory. At this point, all I could remember was the fact that such a thing occurred, but not how it transpired exactly. Nor could I recall his face or build. All details of his appearance had already vacated my mind. A few more hours and I'd probably forget I ever met him. And apparently I myself was under the influence of the same power. Everyone seems to have forgotten both my face and the words we shared. Everything about me. Most likely, I was more thoroughly expunged from history than the mysterious man himself. For not only was he an angel of immense power, his history must have been as long as that of Earth itself. That was no easy man to forget, I'd assume. I, however, met everyone the other day. A history that meager must have been no great hurdle to completely erase. Well, whatever. My situation was of secondary importance now. I was much more curious about the whereabouts of Raziel and Adam and Eve. Where were they now? And what prompted everyone here to suddenly war against each other? There had to be someone calm and collected whom I could ask for information. Yes, they might be able to help me. Astaroth? I spent what seemed like an eternity curled up in a fetal position, sniveling like a newborn babe. By the end of it, I found myself losing interest in myself, and the whole world for that matter, thinking to jump down from the edge of the cloud and put an end to it all. I stood up and wandered into the blindingly white wastes. That metal guy said it was the world only gods could enter. Like I cared, like I cared, like I cared, like I cared! Fuck off. I was too exhausted to care about anything in the world. The sudden appearance of a girl behind me could hardly unnerve me at this point. Though upon closer inspection I realized there was something about her face that... Did I meet her before? Beauty would be one word to describe her, or maybe cutie. Well, there are a bunch of words to describe girls like her, I guess. A gentle enchantress, a cool beauty, a natural looker. Well, whatever. One thing I could tell about her was that she was positively beautiful and that her good looks didn't seem very human-like, and had a kind of otherworldly aura about it. Ghostly, even. She seemed like the kind of apparition that'd pocket your soul and plunge it with it down to the depths of hell where you weren't looking. A creepy kind of looker if I ever saw one. And then it hit me. She was the one that oversaw me when I was still floating in the tank. The one that chose and brought me out to the world. The girl gave me a small nod. Messenger shook her head in silence to my hoarse objection. No! Before I knew what I was doing, I grabbed hold of both of her shoulders. Wipe that sickening smile off your face. Messenger let out a mirthful chuckle. I fell down on my knees. Maybe I wasn't named Kogutsuri out of love or anything, but it was still a name everyone used to call me. I would have given anything to see him again, to have him hold my hand again. I imagined he'd take my heritage in without batting an eye, regard me with that aloof expression of his regardless of who I was. But he disappeared. I didn't know if he was dead or not, if I could even hope to ever meet him again. I raised my mess of a face astonished. I could recall screaming something along those lines in the heat of the moment. Messenger suddenly pointed towards the white nothing. Messenger cocked her head to the side in response to my breath of relief.
空を飛ぶ方法も喪失し、あなたを助けることは不可能だと思いますが。助けてくれるも無理でしょうね。
I was pretty good at enduring things. As long as I knew Setsuna was alright, I felt like I could cope with anything. Since I knew he'd come save me no matter what. In fact, I myself was almost perplexed by the strength of this groundless conviction. That stupid white witch could go ahead and think me delusional. I didn't care. I prayed for the first time in my life. To God or gods or whoever else that would help. I wanted something to rely on. To help me meet Setsuna again. Like a newborn babe, I knew nothing of the real world. But I knew Setsuna. I knew that lukewarm look in his eyes. It was Setsuna who presented me with both my memories and the short past I got. I finally realized love flared in my heart. I loved him so much I felt my heart would burst. I spent the following couple of seconds whimpering, but realizing Messenger's impervious gaze on me, I promptly forced myself to stop. What right had Gethel to slaughter us? Weren't we supposed to live in the future?
あなたたちはゲテルの瞳を継承する可能性が存在したからです。頭が壊れたゲテルは死ぬ直前に誰かにこの負債を押し付けることが明らかでしたから。
You just wanted Gethel's eyes? Gethel's eyes that could see through all lies and deception. I was chosen to inherit them. Not by anything as grandiose as fate, though. I was a random carrot in the supermarket that caught the eye of an important customer, and so she chose to fling me into the world of madness.
強制するわけにはいかない。こればかりはあの方も奇跡に頼るしかなかった。とはいえ、あの方は100人ばかり使い捨てるつもりだったから、問題ないと言えばないけれど。
No one could take Gethel's eyes away by force. They had to find a way to have her surrender them voluntarily. So they had no choice but to be patient and proceed using trial and error. I took a step back in response to her horrid revelation. The 12 before me likely found themselves in a similar situation of life and death as myself and suffered the latter instead.
ゲテルの瞳を持つ者。つまり、あなたこそがあやふやで確定していないはずの未来を確定させる力を持つ。だから、私はここにいるの？ええ。あの方にとっても、あなたがゲテルの瞳を獲得して有効に活用できている以上、パンドラの元にいさせるわけにもいきませんし。
I let my head slump forward. A life shorter than a babe's with hardly as much freedom as a bird in a cage. I was not here because of fate, but out of sheer necessity. My wishes were never granted no matter how I wished for it. The world would never move according to my will. I was someone the world did with as it saw fit. I only walked forward because someone pushed my back. Wished for it or not, my future had already been defined.
それでは私はこれで息災をお祈りします。
I wrapped my arms around myself and glanced around the empty land. The world of pure white that only gods were allowed to enter. I didn't know why, but it terrified me to the bone. An artificial world of perfectly systemized nothingness. And without anything else to do, unable to do anything, I closed my eyes, curled up back in the fetal position, and ceased thinking. In the end, I decided to head to the library. All of the Dantalions turned to me the moment I entered inside.
この状況下で人間が訪れるとは奇怪な。
Just nobody remembers me.
何者だ、お前は。
The war didn't seem to have reached the library yet. I sighed a breath of relief.
僕の名は天道節那、巡礼者だ。すまないが、少し聞きたいことがある。
The female Dantalion closest to me nodded and came closer.
了解した。何か。
何があったか端的に教えてほしい。リリスとベリアルはなぜルキフンスやカマエルたちと戦っている？
我々は常にこの図書館に存在するので、かなりの部分は伝聞なのだが、どうやらラジエルについて争っていたらしい。
I'm betting they discovered that she's the cause of, revealing the concept of eternity. So that's why this fighting started breaking out again. Raziel.
ラジエルが震災の原因だったと アスタルトたちが弾劾した。彼女の持つ本セファー・ラジエルのせいだと。
Raziel's book! The very one I was looking for!
その弾劾に対しリリスとベリアルがかばった。ベリアルはセファー・ラジエルがない限り彼女の有罪を立証することはできないと反論し、
Thank you for being a good judge, Belial.
さらに2人はアスタルトを弾劾した。第3階層で襲撃してきたサマエル、彼女が今までアスタルトの命令に従っていたと自白した。
Huh!
ここでカマエルが動いた。ラジエルをかばいリリスたちと共にアスタルトを打倒しようとした。ところが突然方針を変更。対立する2つの勢力をもろとも撃破しようとした。
I'm gonna make the assumption that he split up into the third faction because he made Samael write down with the thing that only the truth can be written down on. So that's why he created a third faction, if I had to guess.
なぜだなぜカマエルは
Dantalion gave me a perfunctory shrug.
それがわからん。誰かに命を下されたのかもしれないが、その誰かがわからん。
Metatron? Could it have been the mysterious
カ
man?
マエルに命令できるほどの天使というと誰がいる。生きていても死んでいても構わない。
そうだな。ミカエル、ラファエル、ガブリエル、ウリエルのいわゆる四大天使、それからサンダルフォンと。
Dantalion cocked her head to the side. That last one was the mysterious man, no doubt.
あともう一人いたような気がするのだが。
いや彼に関してはいい。
知っているのか？
いいや僕も彼について知りたいんだ。そのためにラジエルの本が必要なんだが。
私の本が
Raziel? A nearby bookshelf seemed to want to enter our conversation. When I turned around to inspect it, the many faces of Dantalion turned to masks of distress. We spent a dozen or so seconds in complete silence. Finally, they let out sighs of resignation in unison.
おい、お前が台無しにしてどうする？
The bookshelf answered Dantalion's exasperation with an apology.
ついうっかり
Well, Raziel, you tried. I took a small sigh myself and addressed the bookshelf, whose voice was all too familiar.
ラジエル僕は敵じゃない。出てきてくれ。
本当
本当だ。
本当に敵じゃないならリリスのモノマネしてみて。
Oh, God. An impression of Lilith? Among the multitude of lines I had committed to my memory, I picked a couple that were the most fit for the situation. After slightly restructuring them to sound as much like Lilith as possible, I proceeded with a high-pitched voice.
ねえラジエルお願いだから戦車をたくさん国境に置くのはやめてちょうだい。ちょっとノリで核開発しただけじゃないの。
Huh!
敵じゃない。
Raziel emerged from the bookshelves.
君たちはある意味すごいな。
I agree. Huh? Me too?
頑張ってみたのだが。
The Dantalion shrugged in unison, clearly exasperated.
お似合いのバカである。ラジエル、どうする気だ？正直、かばうのもそろそろ限界だ。
どうしよう。
このパンドラにいつまでもいられるわけじゃないだろう。
まあ確かにそろそろ限界だとは思っていた。だ
クグツソラミという名前の少女を知っているか？
Raziel paused to think for a few seconds and then shook her head. The display sent a slight pang of pain across my chest.
いや知らない。巡礼者？
僕の大切な人だ。彼女を救うためにあなたの力が必要なんだ。
どういうこと？
どうやら本が必要らしい。セファーラジエルと呼ばれる本が。
Raziel opened her eyes wide and, grasping both my shoulders, gave me a violent shake.
本の行方を知っているの？
第6階層にあると知らされた。その情報が正しいかどうかはわからないが。
第六。
アダムとイブが第4階層まで到達しているはずだ。急げば追いつくかもしれんぞ。
Good, I think Adam and Eve would honestly be very helpful, hopefully. So those two are still continuing on with their own pilgrimage.
よし、では追いつこう。本来なら我々も人間と共に巡礼して叱るべきだったが。
Raziel cocked her head to the side in bewilderment.
私はリリスと一緒に巡礼していた気がする。いや違う。リリスとそれからもう2人ほど一緒だった気がする。
Ah, part of her memory is there, still there. I felt tightness in my chest. Not strong enough to cause me physical pain, but it was not enough that I could simply ignore it. I knew the name for this phenomenon, or rather emotion. Wistfulness. Joy for her recalling me somewhat, and anguish from her not recognizing me blended into one complicated feeling to weigh down my chest.
ともかく、あなたが巡礼するのなら、私もついていこう。第6階層に私の本があるというのは確か。
Well, it's from Remiel.
情報をくれたのはメッセンジャーと呼ばれる天使だ。
Both Raziel and Dantalions opened their eyes wide.
なんと、お前はあの女に会ったのか。
すべての発端となったあの天使めが一体どこにいたのだ。
In the future!
メッセンジャーはどんな姿をしていた？
Raziel gave me a small nod as I described the white woman to her.
確かにメッセンジャーの姿だ。少なくともあなたは会ったことがあるのだろう。
信じてくれるか？
ああ、信じよう。
Raziel gave me a hearty nod.
ならすぐにでも東京バベルに行くがいい。もたもたしていると。
Just as Dantalion uttered those words, the library doors flew open.
と言おうとしたのだが、遅かったようだな。
Don't worry about it, bro. The Dantalions sighed in unison. Lucifuge stood before us, the one and only Chancellor of Hell. A few other demons lingered behind us back. It seemed we were in quite a dire situation.
やはりここにいたか、ラジエル。
Raziel gave Lucifuge a fierce glare. Lucifuge in turn let out a mocking snort.
抵抗するというならそれもよかろう。汝のささやかな反撃をもって反逆の明白な証拠としよう。
魔女裁判じゃあるまいし、ルキフグス、いいことを一つ教えてやろう。
Raziel readied her tablet.
私は戦いが苦手ではあるが、弱いなどとは一言たりとも言っていない。
I know you have power. Her expression changed.
空間属性強化およびベクトル変更、空気レベル4、潰れておけ。
Lucifuge leapt into the air, but the demons behind him were a second too late. A violent blast of air crashed them against the opposing wall.
図書館に入らせなかったことは礼を言おう。一番入らせたくなかった老人が入ってしまったことは仕方あるまい。
Don't worry, Dantalion, I'll be sure to kick him out.
やれやれ、これだから平和主義者は怖い。
He let out a hearty cackle. Apparently losing all of his subordinates in the blink of an eye didn't matter much to him.
やれ。めんどくさい厄介事を持ち込んだものだ。
The Dantalion that I had been conversing with let out a sigh and faced Lucifuge.
ダンタリオ、お前に用はね、おとなしく図書の管理に邁進する。
Ooh. Please tell me we get to see the Dantalions fight.
そうさせてもらおう。
Oh. A book appeared in Dantalion's right hand. Raziel and I jumped back out of reflex. The amount of raw magical power in it was staggering.
何の真似だ。
ルキフグス殿、たった今お前が言ったではないか。
図書の管理に邁進しろ。
そうだ。我々は未来永劫に至るまであらゆる世界の図書管理こそが使命。
ゆえ外敵たるお前を排除する。何か問題があるか？
Yes!
通りだが一つだけ過ちがある。
Lucifuge snapped his fingers. Darkness descended on his erect figure. Its contours rippled, slowly melting into the impenetrable void. The shadow he summoned also covered the library's door. I had a very bad feeling about trying to step through them right now.
私の排除、貴様たちには不可能だということだ。
Dantalion launched a volley of spheres of light at Lucifuge, but the old demon, moving like a snake, coiled out of their path. The projectiles crashed into the wall of the library, decimating in their path by sending countless books flying down to the ground. Okay! Her voice as our cue, we darted towards the direction she indicated. Razia flinched at another explosion behind us.
ダンタリオン。
まあいいさ。だがこれでもうこの図書館も終わりだね。人と天使と悪魔が残した知恵と妄念の結晶も儚く消える。
I say go freaking all out and destroy Lucifuge. Dantalion gave us a forlorn smile. Lucifuge darted from one bookshelf to another, dozens of Dantalions at his heels blasting spheres of light.
それも毒蛇だ。
毒蛇の攻撃。
CR の34回全平行世界の毒蛇情報。
Lucifuge, blasting through a bookshelf, impaled one of the Dantalions on his arm. Dantalion cast a glance towards the wreckage of a bookshelf, CR34, and gave a somber sigh.
どうした？これでは張り合いがない。
これはこれはかの地獄の大宰相ともあろうお方が
Multiple beams of light suddenly took shape of a net and fell upon Lucifuge. The latter, however, gave a snort and, growing thin as a thread, escaped through a narrow opening between the projectiles.
やはりあなたの根源は闇だ。レゾンデートルはそれに関わるものだな。
しかし闇が関わるレゾンベートルなど限られている。証拠の秘密、影、大抵は気がめいるようなものだ。
Dantalion continued on with his onslaught, having a hearty conversation with his other selves at the same time. A few of them even busied themselves with ordering the fallen books.
そのとおり、我がレゾンデートルはひどく知られたところでどうというものでもないがな。
Lucifuge spun around and the library grew even darker.
では大変申し訳ない。一方的に蹂躙させていただこうか。
それは困る。
おい、書庫整理の邪魔をするな。
してる場合ではないだろう。
The sounds of chopping wood, tearing paper, multiple explosions, and a hint of crackling parchment filled the library. Dull sounds of multiple bodies hitting the ground followed. Dantalion's sense of sight proved completely worthless within the clutches of impenetrable darkness.
この世界で見ることができるのはこのルキフムスのみ。お前も闇の中でただひっそりと朽ち果てるがいい。
それは困るな。闇の中では本が読める。展示の本もあるにはあるが数が少ないしね。
その通りだ。闇はこの安息を得る者もいようが多くは闇に恐怖しない。
ではどうす
決まっている。
Oh?
我がレゾンデートルを起動させよう。
Yes! All of the Dantalions suddenly shot up into the air, and each one cradling a different book in hand began surrounding Lucifuge.
ホーリーバイブル、
る？影の王国への9つの
黄金伝説、
ソロモンの
書物は光、あまねくすべてを照らし出す英知の光。
鍵。書物は闇。あまねく人を暗黒へと誘う漆黒の悪意。
我らは光を求め、
我らは闇を抱きしめ
我らは知識を求め、
我らは妄念にとらわれる。
我らは本の世界の住人、本の世界の重木。
我らは本の世界の王、本の世界の頂に位置する者。
我らの思いは万里を馳せ、
我らの呪いは深海に潜り込む。
Ooh.
我がレゾンデートルは知恵を求むること。仁義礼智忠信皇帝、すべてを本から教わった。
絶望欲望、妄念邪念、すべてを本から得得した。
They have learned all of their knowledge, all of their emotions from parchment, books for their soul and their body.
融合アモルファス螺旋知見。
Countless grimoires flew into the air, and from the confines of their shelves, their pages dispersing like birds and flocking together again, fusing into a vast assortment of weapons. The parchment in one Dantalion's hands took the shape of a sturdy two-handed sword of Western design. The parchment in the hands of a female Dantalion took the shape of a Chinese spear.
材料、これすべてあらゆる平行世界で最強を誇る。
Okay, that's cool.
grimoire、
Another Dantalion shaped his parchment into a bow.
闇を切り裂くは知見の光。
ルキフグス、図書館はまずかった。この場所で我々と戦おうとしたのが最悪だ。
たかが神でこの足を打ち倒せるなどと思うか。
Ever heard of a paper cut?
無論
思って、
Swords, spears, and other weapons of all kinds assailed the murky blackness enveloping the room.
秘訣不流文字。
A notion in Zen Buddhism that certain things in life cannot be expressed with words and letters, and can be understood only when experienced firsthand. With darkness as their canvas, they littered it with symbols of all sorts and kinds. Pictograms, alphabet, kanji, numbers, hiragana, katakana. Letters by themselves already had power, but once bonded, once formed into words, they took the shape of a tempest, blasting Lucifuge's darkness away. Only the blackness about Lucifuge himself remained in place.
リュクスフィギュア。
左遷。
Dantalions with bows launched a volley of arrows that pierced and bound Lucifuge's shadow. Black blood running down his posture, the demon chancellor gave Dantalion a fierce glare.
意味があるまい。もはやパンドラの役割は消えた。天使も悪魔も人間もこの図書館を訪れることはなかろう。なぜ守ろうとした？
それが我々が与えられた義務だからだ。
我々が一人残らず消えてなくなるその瞬間まで、我らは図書の管理者である。
Librarian of the Year.
もとより我らはとうに滅びていると言っても過言ではなかろう。
このパンドラに希望はない。いや、正確にはあったのだが、彼らはもう旅立ってしまった。ここにあるのは希望でも厄災でもない。ただ
Dantalion exhaled a forlorn sigh. A group of other Dantalions picked up the paralyzed Lucifuge and threw him out of the library doors.
もう我らのもとにラジエルや天道刹那という人間が来ることはないだろう。
だからこれ以降は来ても無駄だ。狼藉を働かないのであれば訪れるがいい。この世界のありとあらゆる本は万人が読むべき資格がある。
さらばだ、ルキフグス。
And so the library doors fell shut. Lucifuge sighed and stood up. Indeed, it was unlikely he could trace Raziel's escape route at this point, even if he managed to take over the library.
ルキフグス、戻れ。
ラジエルはいかがいたしますか？
放置しておくわけにはいかない。サマエルに追跡させる。
Of course.
了解いたしました。これが最後の戦いになりますか？
俺たちには最後の戦いだろうな。 滅びればそれで終わり。あの天使が支配する世界となるわけだ。
Really?
あの天使、ご存知なのですか？
ああ、よく知っている。我々にとってはまさに最悪の敵対者だ。彼はおおよそ一切の魔を許さんだろ
Astaroth let out a mocking snicker.
う。実のところ、彼はもう俺の目の前にいるよ。どうやら我々を殲滅させる気らしい。
Really?
では手伝ってくれ。正直に言おう。勝てると思えない。
I know it's not going to end well, but I legitimately wish you luck in murdering that guy. Lucifuge, stopping for a moment to treat his arrow wounds, stormed through the corridor.
根性の別れでもしていたか。
The man pointed his vitreous blade at Astaroth.
いや、応援を頼んだのだよ。腹心ルキフース。彼が来れば、俺にも少しは勝ちの目が見えてくる。
Astaroth smiled. The man answered with his own warped grin.
勝ちの目があると思っているとは驚きだ。アスタロト、お前は世界を創造する力を持つ者か。
俺は世界ではなく箱庭を作っただけだな。その点からすると俺は君に大きく劣る。それは認めよう。
何の未来も存在しない箱庭だ。
未来など必要なのかね。
必要だと。我が愛する人間のために。
Considering the way you treated Sormi, yeah, you're not gonna be a good god, honestly. Astaroth could barely contain himself from laughing out loud at the man's hypocrisy.
果たして君が本当の意味で人間を愛しているのかどうかを語りたいところではあるが、そんな暇は君にないだろう。
私には一刻も早く未来を作るという義務があるからな。
義務？欲望、もしくは夢と言い直した方がいいのではないかな。神が壊れた今、君に義務を与えるものなど存在しないさ。
Wait, was this revealed in the Raw Zero Rod that Astaroth knew that God lost his mind? I think it was.
神は神であるということに縛られる。その点、小さき神と呼ばれた私もやはり縛られるべきだろう。
小さき神に慈悲はないのかな。
ノアが救えたのは己の家族と獣たちだけだということを思い出すがいい。
The man guffawed. The crowned prince of hell laughed. Astaroth's countenance suddenly became dead serious once more.
なんとつまらない。それでは単なるループではないか。
未来は確定したものでなければならない。
確定した未来など退屈だ。故に俺は未来を拒んだのさ。
I can agree with Astaroth on this. I'd rather make my own future than rather wait for a future that's already been decided. The two finally came to the same conclusion. That there was no need to waste any more time listening to drivel. That there was naught left but to obliterate one's adversary.
地獄の大行使アスタロト、我がレゾンデートルでもって汝を引き裂こう。
Yes!
我が名は
The man answered Astaroth's call, and the principal's room dematerialized. The clash of the two immense powers gave birth to a tiny black hole that swallowed all the matter around in an instant. What? Everything in a dozen or so meter radius around the two vanished, except for Astaroth and the man. The two were without a doubt the strongest beings in the multiverse now that God had left the stage. Nonetheless, it was evident who had the upper hand between a man who lingered and looked over the world and a man who prided himself on guiding the universe to the future. A long, long time ago, at a time when the world was still young and unstable, the woman, after countless years on the road as a nomad, finally realized the insignificance of her existence. Her pilgrimage was that of repentance. It was all the fault of her lust that her children now suffered. Penitence, a sole dweller in her mind, she lamented, grieved, and prayed. Save my children, save my progeny. The sin was never theirs. Yet her prayers never bore fruit. After witnessing her children's ruination for an eternity, she finally realized that the Lord had never cared for her. To him, she was likely already a thing of the past, a little fool tricked by the devil, punished and banished. The end. She was no longer a character in his design. He did not care whether she lived or died. She was a forgotten relic of the past. Unfortunately, she knew not death. Men would age and die, but she alone remained young forever. All a part of the fruit's curse. She was immortal lest killed by the hand of her child. She lamented, cursed her imperfect immortality, but at the same time dreaded death just the same. All she could do was continue her everlasting journey. She saw everything to see in the world. She committed all the sceneries of the earth to her mind. She traversed the world around 10 times and saw the perpetual rise and fall of mankind. She grew tired of it all. Men would be born and then die. Nations would be formed and then fall apart. Always the same thing. She grew weary of it. And after what seemed like an eternity, she now resided in purgatory, never achieving anything, spending the age of the world itself dawdling, carried around like a leaf in the wind. After finding our way out of the library, Raziel and I dashed through the corridor. I'm guessing that was through Lilith's perspective, I think?
天道刹那、万が一彼らに発見されてもなるべく殺さないでくれるとありがたい。基本はスニーキングミッション OK。
ああ、分かっている。
ありがとう。
Evading the prying eyes of both angels and demons, we eventually found our way through to relative safety.
ラジエル、過去について聞いていいか？
過去？
それほど昔じゃない。1ヶ月くらい前の話だ。
Raziel cocked her head and after seemingly brooding for a few seconds, shook it with a slightly puzzled expression on her face.
すまない。何もわからない。なんというか曖昧。誰かと過ごしていたような気もするし、誰とも関わってないような気がする。誰かと過ごしていたはずなのだけど、肝心の誰かが思い出せない。ちょっと辛い。
そうか。
That was enough to reassure me. At least she didn't seem to be happy about forgetting me.
リリスとベリアルは未だカマエルと戦っている。カマエルがレゾンデートルを繰り出したせいでとんでもないことになっているらしい。
Cameo.
ここにいたはずの生徒たちは
全員データ圧縮されて保管されているはず。
Then they were all right. Probably. The part about storing people as data kind of unnerved me, though. As we dashed through the corridors, it finally hit me that this place would probably never be used as a school again. The relationship between angels and demons was pretty volatile to begin with, and now you could say it had gone off the rails. I doubt they'd ever make up after this.
わからない。私たち天使と悪魔が何のために争い出したのか、それがどうしてもわからない。私が何をしたのかすらもわからない。
Her face was a mask of gloom.
それは
All the fault of that angel.
あの本が本当に震災の原因だったのだろうか。
僕にもわからない。だが少なくともあの本がこの戦いの鍵であることは確かだ。
あの本は
Apparently, when she wrote the Sefer Raziel, she was in a trance, possessed by God.
本は分割され、大地の章と宇宙の章に分かれている。大地の章は人間が地上で暮らすためのマニュアル。宇宙の章はこの世界すべての秘密を書いたもの。
すべて。
そう。おそらく私は本に この震災に。
それが原因かもしれない。
わからない。何もわからない。
Raziel fell silent. Well, now that I think about it, wouldn't that technically mean... We never did figure out what caused God to basically lose his mind. So maybe it was this mysterious man who, I'm, again, making the assumption that it's Metatron or Enoch.
テステステス。人間さん、聞こえる？
ああ、聞こえるけど。
よかった。なんで一度顔を合わせただけでテレパスが通じるのかわからないけど、今ラジエルと一緒？
She might have forgotten all about me, but she still treated me the same. That kind of warmed my heart.
オッケー。私とベリアルはただいまいろんなのと交戦中でちょっと手間取ってる。合流は難しいかも。
Well, I'm just glad we got Belia and Lilith on our
僕
side.
たちは第6階層に向かうつもりだ。
第6階層？どうして？
メッセンジャーという天使がそこにセファーラジエルがあると言っていた。
うっそ、マジ？
少なくとも彼女がそう言ったのは間違いない。信用できるかどうかはともかく、あの本がこの戦いの鍵という話に間違いはなさそうだ。
そうね。行くしかなさそうね。わかった。私たちは後から合流する。なんとしてでも第6階層に到達してみせるわ。
Okay, yes, I would like to have Lilith and Belial on our side for this. That would be awesome.
ああ、
コーラスと支配者に気をつけなさいね。
You got it, ma'am.
分かってる。
あなた、名前は？
天道刹那。
そう。それじゃあ、刹那。ラジエルを頼むわよ。それから、
Yeah, someone just erased your memories.
あったかもしれない。
そう。あ、それじゃとにかく、いろいろと頼んだわ。
任せてくれ。
Even I myself got surprised by the candor of my reply. We finally reached the gates that loomed in their usual place like a giant impassive skyscraper.
では、第4階層までショートカットする。
Good.
第4階層って場所どこ？
我が聖地秋葉原。幸いアダムがそこまで踏破してくれたので問題なくたどり着ける。
Holy Land. Crap. I spotted 100 or so angels charging toward us. I took a deep breath and concentrated all my magic to myself. Nanomachines within my body proceeded to manufacture napalm from my bloodstream and allocated it to the steel pipes in my wrists. I changed my cells to those of an electric eel and fire. A burst of fire shot from my palms, lighting up the ground and walls in fiery flames, impeding the angel advance. Angels hesitated. The ultra-high temperature wall of fire proved to be a better protection than the thickest of plate armors.
ラジエル。
よし、開いた。
We jumped straight into the white light and dashed forward. Raziel flew in the air. I tried my best to keep up with her on foot.
飛べないの？
飛び方を忘れてしまった。
それは問題ね。
Yep.
大いに問題だ。
教えてあげよっか。
ああ、でも逃げながらで頼む。
Please do. Akihabara waited for us beyond the doors of the fourth stratum, as peaceful as ever. A few buildings seemed to have fallen apart, but only complete silence shrouded the place now.
アダムが倒した。
He probably did.
だといいんだけど。
索敵してみよう。アダムとイブはいない。ただ一人誰かの反応がある。瀕死だ。
Wonder who it could be.
この階層の支配者か。
For starters, we should inspect the person in question closer. We found her lying all alone among the rubble on top of one of the destroyed buildings. Raziel opened her eyes wide in surprise.
サマエル。
What?
サマエル。
The moaning girl, her arms and legs jerking convulsions, indeed looked like Samael. A surprising sight indeed, but not something that would have warranted the earlier Raziel's overreaction. I asked her as to what astonished her so.
だってサマエル
ルはパンドラに捕獲されているはず。
You're just another clone, I
抜
guess.
け出たんじゃないか。
ありえない。もし捕獲が解けたとしたら、私たち天使に分かるように一種のアラームをつけている。
だがここにサマエルはいる。
私だ、サマエル。
ちくしょう、ラジエルか。それに天道、刹那。
Howdy. Wait.
サマエル、なぜ僕の名を知っている？
何言っているのかな。君とは一度屋上で出会ったじゃないかよ。
Indeed we did. We definitely did, but...
なぜ僕を覚えているんだ？
Samael cocked her head, seemingly amused. That's right, she's the only one who remembers.
面白いことを言うな。何かあったのかな。
I briefly explained what had happened to me. She listened to it all with keen interest.
私だけが君を覚えている。
そうだ、ラジエルもリリスも僕のことを忘却している。記憶から削除されているはずなんだ。
But why Samael?
私はあなたと会ったことがある。
Yeah, we even had a route together. Which, the true ending was sad. I gave her a nod. The puzzlement on Raziel's face made my heart hurt. Seems I have grown quite sensitive after the past couple of events.
ほほや、ずいぶん仲が良かったのに、それはひどいね。切なお兄さんが泣きそうじゃないか。
うるさい。
さて、なぜ私だけが覚えているかはわからないな。わからない。いや、わかるんだけど、嫌だ。
Samael suddenly became terrified, as if having realized something horrible, she began to tremble all over.
そんな、でも、そしたら、いや、待って。
サマエル、教えてくれ、サマエル。
やだ。そんなことあってたまるのか。そんなわけない。私は違う。私は生きている。私は確かに。
Do you remember your murder? Samael opened her eyes wide and reached out towards the sky. However, grasping nothing, her fingers eventually lost strength and she promptly grew stiff.
死んだ。
みたい。
The supposed mastermind of the divine calamity expired abruptly with no fanfare or explosions to commemorate her passing, her features twisted into an eternal mask of terrified disbelief. But what was so terrifying? So unbelievable to her?
まさかそんな。でもそうとしか考えられない。
Raziel stooped down in front of the motionless Samael, placing her hand on the fallen angel's chest and then picking one of her arms up.
やっぱり。
Raziel gave a solemn sigh. I, having no idea what was going on, stared at
や
her.
っぱりって。
このサマエルはハンドメイドだ。
Yep. What?
私たち天使と悪魔は肉体の構成物質が人間と大きく異なっている。魔力の貯蔵量が人間と圧倒的に異なるのはそのため。
She's probably made of that stuff that allowed us to get food and all that.
ところがこのサマエルの肉体は人間に近い。魔力を大量に放出することはできても貯蔵することができないようになっている。
Oh!
別人ということか。
いや、別人ではない。彼女は紛れもなくサマエルのはずだ。だが、ハンドメイドだとすると話は変わる。
She turned Samael's body over.
天使の肉体はそうそう手に入るものでもなく、作り上げられるものでもない。まして、サマエルを再現するとなるとなおさらだ。
Yeah. She tore her clothes to inspect the shoulder region. Spotting an engraving there, I couldn't help but let out a cry.
彼女の体は人間の肉体を強化したもの。一部天使や悪魔のパーツも流用されているようだけど、
Fuck!
基本は人間でしかない。
The number engraved on her shoulders was 18. In other words,
18人目のサマエル。私たちがこれまで戦ってきたと思い込んでいた相手は誰かが作ったものだった。
that's fucked up. I cannot believe it. Raziel proceeded to
も
mumble.
しかして僕を忘れていなかったのも。
彼女の記憶媒体は生体部品。あらゆるデータとあらゆる生物の記憶からあなたの記憶を削除しても彼女には効果範囲が及ばなかったのだろう。
I could spot a hint of distress in her tone.
彼女は言うなればクローン体に近い。それも劣化したクローン。コピーを作っていくうちに劣化が進んだのか、それともこれが限界なのか。だがこのクローン体そのものは高度な科学技術とネクロマンシーに支えられている。これほどのものとなると悪魔以外には
So basically, Astaroth.
悪魔以外にはありえない。まさかこれは。
君が思っている通りだ。
The man stood atop the fence on the roof. Raziel gasped. I froze in place from surprise. The Crown Prince of Hell, second only to Lucifer and Beelzebub. Holy shit, you're alive? And as if his presence wasn't surprising enough, his appearance was even more startling. Wounds littered from the entirety of his frame. His clothes in tatters, soaked deep in crimson blood. A distant glance was more than enough to tell he'd been completely ravaged. He didn't have long in this world.
サマエルは俺が作り出した。科学技術は人間の世界から拝借し、ネクロマンシーは言うまでもなく俺は得意だ。
どうして。
Raziel's voice shook. An oddly forlorn smile crept to Astaroth's lips.
敵が必要だったからさ。これ
敵？でも敵は他にもいる。
敵というのは語弊があるか。黒幕が必要だった。ゲームでいうところのラストボスだ。俺はそれにサマエルを選んだ。
真の黒幕はあなた。
Astaroth, not bothering with affirmation or denial, smiled at me.
真の黒幕。それはつまり誰かが何かを企み、そして実行したとだ。
He shrugged and considered me with a look one gives a little child.
俺は天国と地獄を征服し、世界の破滅に乗り出す大魔王だと。それならなぜ俺は東京バベルなどを管理していたのだろう。
So it'd have had to have been the other man.
それ。
She couldn't find the words to retort that, and neither could I. Meanwhile, Astaroth continued dryly.
我々が東京バベルに至った原因は過失と恋、善意と悪意が絡み合い、ひどく複雑だ。だがこれだけは言っておく。ラジエル、君自身の意志はどうあれ、原因の一端を担っている。そして鍵を握っているのはもう一人。
I swear to God, if you get killed before you reveal it, I'm gonna be pissed. He gave us a hyena-like smile and stopped. Raziel and I, rendered speechless, stared at him.
だが教えるわけにはいかないんだ。それは自分で調べるがいい。
Astaroth pointed his arm towards me. Raziel's cry is my cue. I, forgetting I was on the roof, vaulted sideways, plunging down headfirst towards the concrete from a dozen or so meters high. Firing down the pane, I glanced upward, where Astaroth elegantly glided across the air, looking down on me. Yeah. I'm going to end it there. Time-wise, not gonna work out. Not gonna work out. I did not intend for another battle to suddenly jump out here. Okay, first off, how the hell did you survive against the mysterious man who's supposedly the final boss of sorts? Unless, Your memories were fucked with. I legitimately have no clue what the fuck is going on. But I'm pretty sure we'll find out something in the next episode, so hopefully you guys are looking forward to a battle in the next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching, and fuck, I'll see you guys in the next video. Supposedly.